Good morning, everybody. My name is Kam Singh, and I'm recording from Long Beach, California, at the Shoreline Village. And the reason that I'm recording this message is that because I had an event, a recent event that affected my life, and I think the cause of the event is I didn't have control of the mind, and this is what I'm going to talk about. I'm talking about the mind. How do we control our mind? Because I feel that if we cannot control our mind, the mind will lead the body to do certain things that affect our lives. You know, as a result, and we have to deal with it as a human being. So in the past, I thought I was able to have complete control of the mind, and experts, self-development experts and philosophers have been telling us that we can control our mind. But how do we do it? How do we control our mind? I discovered in the past that in order to control our mind, our thoughts, our thinking, and everything else, and I can see this, to control our mind. And you might think that this is crazy, but to control our mind, first, you don't control it. You don't have to control it. If you control the mind by not controlling it. Now, what do I mean by that? I'll explain, because I discovered this in my real situation. So when the mind is thinking, okay, when the mind is thinking, that's what I'm saying. But who is thinking? Who's doing this thing? Who's the thinking? If the mind is thinking, do you think? I mean, do we think at all? Do you as a person think? If we say that the mind is thinking, that means you don't think. The mind thinks. So if you let the mind thinks, it can think about what the hell whatever it wants to think about. But if you think, you have a responsibility. You are responsible for your thoughts and action. So the mind don't think then. It's you that's thinking. All right. So we established that. So if you are thinking, then the mind is not thinking. Are you still with me? So if you're thinking, the mind is not thinking. But what if the mind thinks and you don't think? Then the mind can think about whatever it wants. It just keep on drifting to think about sorrow, to think about war, to think about hurting other people. It can think about accumulating wealth, or it's uncontrollable. It can think about anything. But if you think, I think that's if you think, then you can direct your thinking to where you want to go, where the thinking can go. So if you're thinking about creating wealth, if you're thinking about completing a project, then you can decide to think. So the most powerful discovery that I have encountered in the past is that when you have an ability to think only when you need to think, we have freedom. Let me repeat that. If we can think only when you need to, if you can think only when you need to think, then you have freedom because you are in control now. You are responsible. You can be responsible for your thinking. But if you think, you don't control our thing, and if you don't control our thinking, and you keep on thinking and thinking and thinking without, the necessity to think, what does that do? I mean, it's gonna, the thinking process is gonna keep on going about this, about that, about who you are, about where you want to be, about where you want to go, about this person, about that person, or sometimes you're not even sometimes you're not even thinking. You're just reviewing the the events or some information that you encounter during the day. It's like after watching television or what you see on social media, YouTube or whatever. So you're just repeating that information in your head. So that's not thinking, because it's just reviewing information, or the mind just reviewing the events and the information that you pick up. Probably you don't even pick up. When we say you pick up, you don't even pick up. Who's doing the pickup? The mind picks up. The mind picks up all those information and accumulate it in your thoughts, in your brain, and then the brain would the brain would spit out this information during the day. Okay, let's go back to let's get back to controlling our mind again. I said that to control your mind, the first thing you need to do is not to controlling it, not to control it. So, say for example, you have a thought that's coming your way. What kind of thought is it? Let's say, for example, a thought about yourself. I am an American. I am a French person. I am an Asian person. Or I am an entrepreneur. I am something. Okay? You create something. Just create a thought for yourself. Just anything. And then you have that thought. That thought comes your way. Say for example, you don't, you observe it. When it comes your way, you don't do anything. You just observe that thought. Okay, what is the thought is saying? I am this, I am that. I have $5 million in the bank. I have $2 million in the bank. I have $100 million in the bank. I am in debt. I'm a student. Those type of thoughts. Okay. So they keep on coming. So what you can do when those thoughts come, you don't control it, just let it come. Just let it come. And then it goes away. And then when you can see that thought is coming, and then your mind and you remain still, let the thought come. And after that, a new thought comes. Say for example, I'm a student. I study at this university, I'm an entrepreneur. I have this product. I have this business. This is my business. I have this number of customers. Those are thoughts coming in. Or, for example, if you're in pain, I'm suffering from this, I'm suffering from that, I have cancer, I don't feel very well. Those are thoughts coming in. You observe them. You observe the thought coming in. Let them come. Let them come. Don't control them. Observe them. Observe them. Observe the thought. Right now I'm closing my eyes. I'm trying to feel the air that's touching my face right now. I'm trying to see if there's any thought that's coming my way. So because I'm doing this video, my mind is pretty calm right now. I say my mind, I'm not sure whose mind it is, because some expert in the past has said that we all have one mind. But how can you possibly have one mind? We ask that, because if we all have one mind, how come we don't have the same thing? How come we don't possess the same properties? How come we don't live in the same place? But that's not the point, because they said that the mind is just one big thing. It's just it's one consciousness. We all have the same consciousness, but it flow around. Yeah, I don't have any thinking right now. Although I'm in a big distress situation right now, I still don't feel it. I don't feel any pain, because the cold air is touching my body right now. So this is just an example. You can sit anywhere, be anywhere, sit in your car, something like that, and then let the thought coming your ways. If you have problems, with controlling your thoughts, and again, to control your thoughts first, not to control it. Don't control your thought. You control your thoughts by not controlling it. Let it come, let them come. They're not gonna harm you. Okay, the thoughts is not gonna harm you. I can guarantee you that. So when you can successfully allow your thoughts to come in. I am this, I am that, I'm black, I'm white, I'm American, I live in the USA, I live in Long Beach, California, I live in Chicago, I live in Illinois, I live in Boston, Massachusetts, I live in New York, I live in Dubai, I live in India, I live in Bangkok, I live in, pick your city. Sometimes it comes like that, You already live in the city, you already live in Los Angeles, for example. And why would you have to think that you're still living in Los Angeles? You're all there. So that thinking is not necessary, right? Say, for example, you're doing your job, you are an entrepreneur, you make six figure, you make this, you make that, you're all that already. So why do we have to repeat that thinking inside yourself? Let them come, because the mind come and go. The thoughts come and go. They don't stay. And when they disappear, where did they disappear to? We don't know. We don't have to know. It's not important. And when it came from, where did it come from? Where do these thoughts come from? We have no idea. You said it's because of our training, because we are a mechanic human being, because we are conditioned to think a certain way. Okay, that's fine. Say, for example, you were born in Russia, or be born in Los Angeles, or in New York. We train, because our condition, the mind just repeat from our experience, right? But sometimes we feel, the mind, the thoughts about something that's irrelevant to where we are, to where we came from. And then where do we come from? Are we conditioned, or is it just come our way? Or we can create a thought, come up with something weird like I can fly, or I can walk on water, or something like that. So we imagine that we can do all those stuff. So imagination is not conditioned, right? We can direct our imagination to appear at any place on the planet or outside of the planet, somewhere in the universe. You have no idea. You can imagine it. It's so beautiful when you can do that, because in the past I was able to imagine being on a place that you haven't seen it on Earth, Okay, when the mind comes, it comes to this inner space within you. So when the mind comes, when the thoughts come when the thoughts come to our brain, when the thoughts come our way, we observe them. So we can observe by repeating the thought. Say for example, I am an Asian person, I am an American, I am a Russian. Je suis français, something like that. Or ผมเป็นคนไทย ខ្ញុំជាខ្មែរ for example. So those are the Cambodian. I spoke Cambodian, Thai, some French and English. So sometimes how come you repeat your thoughts? Sometimes why do our thoughts come in our own language, our native tongue? You know why? Let me tell you this. When your mind is so quiet and thoughts come your way, you allow them to come in your way. Language disappear. So you're not controlled by language. And that's when you know who you truly are. Because you blend, your being blends in with everything else in the universe. You just lose yourself in the universe. And your mind become empty. You can't say the mind anymore, because when the thoughts are quiet, when your brain don't produce any more thoughts, it is really quiet, and there's an empty space. In the past, I was trying to write something. I was trying to write about an empty space. This inner space is empty, but it's so powerful, because although it's empty, you can produce thought in that. That's what I mean by you can think only when you need to think, because that space, there's a space inside of you, inside of this inner space. When you close your eyes, there's an inner space. There's no thought, and you can think whatever you want. That's how you control it. But that's how you control the thoughts, because at the beginning you don't control them, and then you'll see this space inside of you. Close your eyes and to see if you can see this space. And then when the space is empty, I'll tell you what, you can let go of pain, physical pain, psychological pain, And I think that's the end of the suffering. But you have to see this space. If you don't see it, you have to keep trying. But don't try too hard. You have to let the mind does its thing. Thoughts are not our enemies, nor, you know, are they our friends. They're just thoughts. Okay? Alright, the guru say that, we have negative thoughts and positive thoughts, right? We're taught that way. That's what they say. Negative thoughts and positive thoughts. Now I want you to go beyond that. I fear that negative thoughts and positive thoughts is just, we have not reached the level yet. So if you're really good at this, if you're really good at controlling your thoughts will no longer have attributes. Okay? Don't worry, I'm going to repeat it. When you're really good at this, when you allow thoughts and thinking to come in, let them come in. Be weak, Don't resist them. Don't resist them. Let them come in. They're not going to hurt you. Negative, positive, neutral, they're not going to hurt you. They just thought you're strong. You are the masters. You're powerful. You are the masters of your thoughts. And not the other way around. So the Guru said there's positive thoughts and negative thoughts, right? Do you believe that? Okay, let me ask you that question again. Do you believe that? All right. Here's the interesting thing here. When I say, do you believe that? Who believes? Your mind believes or you believe? Can you decide to believe? Okay. If you're the master of your thinking, your brain, your thinking process, because we are a responsible human being, right? We can decide to believe. We can choose to believe. When we say I believe in certain things, right? Are you sure that you have decided? Are you sure that you have decided to believe, or you just believe without deciding? Or your beliefs have been embedded in you from your condition, from your experience, from your education, from your family, or from your training? Or can you be free from that? Go back to thoughts not having attributes, negative or positive. So when a thought comes in and you think it's negative, right? Give me an example. I am stupid. Do you have the courage to say that? I am stupid. And then repeat it in your head. It's just language. I am, and then the word stupid. Or let me put another, maybe you're not comfortable with this example yet. Say, I am fat, for example. I am fat is less severe than stupid. So I am fat. Okay. Just words, just the English words, English sentence. Place together the word I, the word am, and the adjective fat placed next to each other. Are you weak enough to be affected by that one sentence? If someone say that to you, are we that weak? Are we that irresponsible? Are we that powerless and not having not able to have that sentence pass? Most of the time we react to that kind of comment, and then we have an emotion like angry or feel defensive, and maybe you want to respond back to the person who say it. But if that same thoughts come in your way and then you pause it will disappear. Okay, you're saying that this is too much because most of the time we're gonna react negative thoughts. Yeah, it's true. Most of the time we do that. But if you can, if it's possible, when you're by yourself, when you're alone, try to have negative thoughts. Try to observe it. And then, here's the funny thing. When you observe negative thoughts, that thought would disappear. So when it disappears, is it negative or positive? It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect us anymore. It's because you let it go. And you don't have to take any action. Okay, what's your thought? The ship is, the ferry is passing by. That's our thought, right? Because that's what I see. That's what we see. Can you see this wave right here? So I'm speaking in English and trying to communicate with you. But what if I don't say anything? What are these? What are all these? Just silence your mind. Look at these pictures. What are they? Don't put in words. Just look at them. Is it water? What about the architecture? If you don't say it, if you don't put words in it, into your own language, into French, Hindi, Arabic, what are they? You know that this is a building. Why do we have to say it's the building? This architecture here, this beautiful architecture here in Long Beach, California. And we know that this is water. Don't say it's water. The word water is not water. It's just a word. So those birds, you see the birds? Don't say it's the birds. And some of you might look up in, online, what type of birds are these? Seagulls? I don't know what they are, but don't name them. What are they? Okay, we talk about negative thoughts, and what about positive thoughts? Do they matter? Are the positive thoughts gonna empower us to be a better person? It may. But observe them. Observe them. Don't fight with your thoughts, let them come and they will go away. If you're in pain, feel the pain. Feel it. Pay attention to your surrounding, your breathing, where do you put your hands, where are you sitting, where do you sit. Pay attention to your breathing pattern. Do you have any tensions on your stomach, in your stomach? Is there any tension in your brain, in your head, or any part of your body? Pay attention. Are there thoughts coming in? What are they? Don't do anything, just observe it. Is the thought saying that you're not good enough? Is the thought saying that you have to complete your homework? Is the thought saying that I have a job interview tomorrow, what should I say? Observe them. Do you have to write down your thoughts like they suggest? You can if you want to, but it's not necessary, it's gonna go away. If it's a really groundbreaking thoughts for scientific revolution or technological revolution, then you may want to write down that thought and record that, and then you can take action to have it materialize later on. But if it's just a silly thought, like how fat I need to lose weight, who cares? You don't have to write down. They just thought they'll go away. Yeah, like I said, if the thought is really like a breakthrough of some sort, you can write it down and make it happen. But if it's just like a random thought, if it's just random thoughts, you can disregard it. You can just observe it. Okay, I'm gonna end my video right here. Thank you for watching, and if you like the video, please click the like, the hands up, the thumbs up, and then share the video. Or if you don't want to do that, watch it again to see if you can benefit from this conversation. I'll talk to you later. Thank you.